Dan Clark is one of those people you don't want to get your picture taken standing next to, isn't he? Folks, thank you so much for being here tonight. And Dan, thank you for that introduction. The problem with it is it won't work because they know me. I'd like to offer a couple of thanks. First, thank you to Secretary James for kicking off the event this evening. Thank you, ma'am, for being here, and thanks for the passionate way you lead our Air Force. And Frank, thank you for bidding, buddy. Just keep going. I'd also like to thank Lieutenant General John Hopper. General Hopper left our Air Force after a remarkable career, but he kept on leading us. And now in his role with Air Force Aid Society, along with his able sidekick, Dr. McKeon, they have done just a phenomenal job of helping people. Sir, thank you so much. We are still standing on your shoulders. I'd also like to thank the other members of General Hopper's team who are here tonight. Would anybody who works for the Air Force Aid Society please stand up? Because you guys make this happen every day, all year long. Thank you so very much. I also want to thank there's former chiefs of staff out in the audience, there's former Air Force leaders, there's former leaders of our government, there's current leaders of the Air Force, our government, there's leaders who are from the industrial community here. Thank you all for taking your time, because you don't have a lot of extra stuff and lots of extra evenings to spend, and coming here to do it with us is really an exceptional gift. And I want to say thanks to Mr. Dan Clark, who, by the way, doesn't have to do this for us. We're not paying Dan a lot of money tonight. He's donating his time, his energy, as he always does. You heard about his background. You heard about the athletic part. He wasn't just sort of an athlete growing up. Dan Clark was like a championship alpine ski racer when he was a young man. He was a championship boxer. He was a championship motocross rider. And when he had his football career ended while he was at the University of Utah, right after he left. He started as a freshman as a wide receiver for the University of Utah. His sophomore year, he started as a defensive end. And when he finished his college career, he actually received a letter of intent to pick him in the first round of the NFL draft for Mr. Al Davis of the Oakland Raiders. So when you talk about somebody's athletic career ending due to injury, this was a serious athletic career. And as Dan recovered, he actually started to speak to groups that were having trouble and difficulties in life, just as a way of helping him deal with his recovery and helping them understand that there was a future, because he was given about a 10% chance of ever recovering and managed to recover fully just because he's Dan Clark and he can do anything. He now gives 200 speeches a year. You heard about the other accomplishments, but roughly 150 to 200 speeches a year to people all over the world, and a great percentage of those are to members of the United States military, and he doesn't charge a dime. He travels on his own dime as an Air Force civic leader. He has helped our Air Force in so many, many different ways. This is a guy with a heart that's much bigger than he is. He is just a great American, and Dan, I want you to know how much all of us appreciate everything you do for our airmen and families. One last thing. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's wonderful we come together one time a year, really because we all have a common cause. You give to so many different things, but this is a night where we get to give to our own. The Air Force Aid Society gives money to airmen and their families when they need it most. Last year, almost $17 million to airmen who needed emergency travel for family deaths, to airmen who needed child care programs while they were moving, to airmen who needed loans for things that were going to get their family through a very rough spot. They are always at the other end of the phone. They are always willing to help. And tonight is a night we get a chance to help them take care of our people. Thank you for being here.